Hey, what's cracking, G's? That's G as in Gamer. What was you thinking? Today's video is going to be me doing a somewhat review, but not actually a review, but a should you buy it for Evolve. There's a lot of concerns and questions about this game, but before I get into that, let me just break down what I will be doing with the Evolve game on my channel. Since there's so much information and so much stuff scheduled to be released with the game and following the game, I'm going to do the initial should you buy it, and then I'm going to do breakdowns of the good, the bad, and the ugly of the game. I'm going to get into some details here about those things so you can make a decision on should you buy this game or not and what I think. But then I'll do full breakdowns of those things in other videos following this one. So if you want to know anything about Evolve, you probably should subscribe to my channel. So let's get into it, guys. Let's break down what I think about the game and should you buy it. The pros, the cons, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's do it. The story of Evolve is pretty simple and basic. We're in an era pretty much of games not having complex stories, so this kind of follows suits and it gives you what you're looking for, gameplay. You're on a planet called Sheer, and that planet is inhabited by humans and monsters. Now the problem that's happening now is that the inhabitants of the planet, the indigenous people, are being ravaged and destroyed and eaten by unknown creatures. So you either take the role of one of these monsters or one of the humans. Your job as a human is to evacuate the people while you either figure out, stop, or destroy the problem. Or you pick a monster and you devour, conquer, destroy, and eat. You know, your choice is simple. That's the story of Evolve pretty much. Your goal is either to become an apex predator or a supreme hunter. It's that simple, guys. Okay, let's get to that elephant in the room that everybody's been talking about with this game. If you have been researching or hearing anything about this game, you've been probably hearing one thing in particular, and that's the DLC. A lot of people have been complaining and upset and angry about it, but I wanted to touch on this DLC topic in another video, but I'll discuss it here since this is one of the driving factors on why people will or will not be purchasing this game. Turtle Rock Studios is catching a lot of heat for this game for the simple fact that they came out right away and admitted that they have tons of DLC planned and it's paid DLC. A lot of people are mad and they're complaining about this in a lot of forums and threads. If you travel the internet, you will see these comments. Now, I do want to say that I'm happy that they were honest. That's one good thing. You have to really commend gamers who understand that these game developers have been very dishonest about a lot of things. It's great when you see a game developer just coming straight forward with the situation and being professional about it. Now, let's get into the details. When you buy certain games, they cost $65 with tax included, but then you have to pay $40 for a season pass. You have seen a lot of AAA titles doing this as of next generation. The reason that I think Evolve should be excluded from that situation is because a lot of game developers feel like they're not charging enough for their games. This is why you have annual games that come out every year with the season pass that's anywhere from $20 to $40. Now, if you factor in the $65 you already spent, that means this game developer wanted you to actually pay $100 plus the $5 tax for your game. Now, with that being said, if you factor in they give you a base game for $60 and an option to opt out of buying the other DLC, it's actually not that bad. I would prefer them give me a choice and say, this is the DLC we have, check it out, do you want to buy it, yes or no? Okay, then just buy the regular game for 60 bucks. We as gamers have to realize when things are not that bad. It's great that they give you a basic game and give you an option on opting in on the extra stuff rather than just giving you everything and charging you $100 for it. And there's a lot of stuff that you consider to be fat and you want to cut that off. So I commend game companies like Turtle Rock Studios for doing this. I'm glad that they gave people a choice rather than just trying to charge $100 for the game. So I'm cool with that. I hope to you guys that by me explaining the situation, you understand why the DLC is actually a blessing in disguise and it's not a bad thing. What would you prefer? You pay $100 for the game, don't get the game because it is $100, or you get the game for $60 like it always was, and you get the option to get the DLC or the season pass. So that's a great thing, Turtle Rock Studios. I commend you for that. Now, on February 10th, when this game is officially released and you actually buy the regular game without any DLC added, you will be receiving 12 unique maps, each with various modifications and multipliers so that every time you play the game, you're allowed to do different things and unlock different things and have a different experience. You get 12 hunters. You get Abel, Bucket, Kabak, Karen, Griffin, Hank, Heidi, Lazarus, Maggie, Marvok, Parnell, and Val. Now, I probably said 2 of those names wrong. You'll correct me in the comment section, as you guys always do, right? Okay, cool. Moving right along. You'll get 3 monsters. A lot of people wanted to know how many monsters are there. On release, there's actually 3, technically 4. Let me explain the 4th monster to you guys. The 4th monster is unknown at the moment, but however, this monster is something related to the DLC pre-order. If you pre-order the game, you do get access to unlocking the 4th monster. Now, for you people that's gonna go, oh, I gotta unlock a monster, you have to actually unlock all the monsters. You start out with 1, which I believe is the Goliath, and then you have to unlock the Wraith and the Kraken. Now, I will be doing a video explaining these monsters individually, or I may do a video doing both, but bottom line, if you want to know about these monsters, just come back to my channel and I'll be doing a video on that. The game modes that are available to you are Defend, Hunt, Nest, and Rescue. Now, all of these modes are actually self-explanatory, so I won't get into further details. You also have the Evacuation Campaign, which is something very similar to you Left 4 Dead fans. The Evacuation Campaign is pretty much 5 stages, different modes put together in one, and you get to switch between whether or not you play as a hunter or you play as a monster, and you go back and forth, and it changes every time you pick this mode to give it a variety. You also have a full offline mode for you Left 4 Dead fans. You know what that means. That means that you can actually just pick one character and play with the other 4 as NPCs. Now, you guys who want to know about the AI in this game, the AI is pretty good actually, just like in Left 4 Dead, but it's actually better, of course. And I hate to keep making those references, but it is the same people that made the 2 games, so that's why I'm making that reference for you guys. So you guys who played Left 4 Dead like me, you're going to see some similarities. There's one guarantee that they did give us from Turtle Rock Studios about the maps. You know how when you buy DLC, some people have it and some people don't? Well, if they start selling maps, they realize that they will actually split the gaming community up. So one good thing that they did was they decided to make all the maps free, so that no matter what DLC you purchased or did not purchase, you all can play on the same maps together, so that we are not segregated from one another through DLC. So once again, that's a good decision, Turtle Rock Studios. Kudos to you for that. This game being a 4v1 game, you get to choose between one of the 5 role-playing types. If you pick the humans, you get the assault type, which is the one that has the attack at all times. You get the trap type, who has to trap the monster so that you can do your assaults effectively. You have the medic. The medic's job is to play a support role and heal everybody that's taking damage and try to take health from the monster, as in, you know, disable it, slow it down, poison it, things of that nature. And you have the support type. The support type does a little bit of everything, which is attack, keep people back, you know, get people off people so the medic can work, and things of that nature. The assault type is pretty much a guy with the guns. He goes and he shoots. The trap type is pretty much a person that has the ability to do things like hunt down the monster a little bit more easier than the rest, follow the scent, things of that nature, and use weapons to trap the monster and slow it down so that you can attack it. The medic, of course, which actually is a pretty fun role, because I actually thought that that would be the most boring, and actually is fun to play a medic sometimes. The medic's job is challenging, but his job or her job is to heal the other characters without yourself dying. So it's pretty much a role-playing type of role there. The support, pretty much what I said before. The support is pretty much there to, if the trapper's having a hard time, go help him out. If the assault is going down and they need a little bit more firepower, go help them out. If the medic is having a hard time getting somewhere, go help the medic out. So the support guy pretty much does a little bit of everything. You know, you help everybody out pretty much. There's 3 monster types that you get to choose from. You get the Goliath, you get the Wraith, and you get the Kraken. Now right away, I'm going to warn you guys, because I see this all over the internet, as far as like people I'm talking to who play the game like me. I'm kind of enjoying this game actually. You have a lot of people complaining about the Wraith, feeling like the Wraith is OP. So once again, I'll be doing videos explaining these things a little bit further, but pretty much out of the 3 monster types, you'll be introduced to the Goliath first, which is pretty much a Hulk smash tank type of character who has the ability to breathe fire as its main formidable attack. Then you have the Kraken, whose main ability is to fly. So that makes it very hard to kill this creature if you're hunting it and it can actually just fly away. That makes it a formidable enemy for you to kill, due to the fact that it can attack pretty well as well, and it has multiple arms to attack with. The Wraith. The Wraith being the biggest issue of the 3 for most people. The Wraith has many abilities that are devastating and very hard. When this Wraith reaches level 3, oh my goodness. If somebody knows what they're doing, tons of damage can be dealt with this character. So like I said, I don't know if people are going to be asking to have this thing nerfed. I don't know what's going to be the story. We will look forward to that in future videos. So there you have it on the characters and the 4v1. This game has a complex control scheme for you console guys. For you PC guys, you probably will be more familiar with that. There's a lot of sub buttons and sub controls on the controller. I'm a console guy, I like to play with the controller, but for you people who use a keyboard, you'll be used to this. Now let me get back to you console guys real fast. There's a lot of things you can do with the buttons. They're not as traditional as you would like them. Of course, the zoom and the trigger are the same as most FPS games or action shooting games, but you have a lot of sub buttons where one gun is on a certain button and one gun is on another button, and you will have to get used to that. You will have to learn that in order to get good at this game. It does take a little getting used to, but the game is fun. Once you get to learn these varieties, you'll be finding yourself learning all kinds of combinations and doing all kinds of things as you get better and get more strategic at getting used to pulling out certain weapons for certain situations and certain things for certain abilities. Now, with that being said, I actually like the controller scheme. I like that it feels like they evolved that controller scheme, and that was not a pun. That's actually what I mean. It's not as traditional as most games where it's just one button for one thing. There's a lot of functions and controls and commands, and you have to learn these in order to get good at this game and to get, you know, past the monsters or to kill the hunters. So, with that being said, I love what they did with the controllers for this game. I enjoy it a lot. I'm happy with that. I think you guys will be happy, but once again, I will warn that this is not for the faint of heart. There is a learning curve to these controls, and you will have to take a little time and be patient and learn these things. The graphics overall on this game are pretty good. I have seen better. I have seen a lot worse. I'm honestly gonna say I was slightly disappointed in this category because I expected to see some really good graphics. Left 4 Dead had pretty good graphics to me, and that was a long time ago because I stopped playing Left 4 Dead probably a year ago, and that game was already old then, and I feel like the graphics on this game hasn't really evolved. And I mean, not to use that pun, but honestly that's the word that I'm using. It hasn't really gone much further than that, so I'm kind of wondering what that's about. I'm pretty sure there's going to be the talks that the PS4 version could have been stronger than the Xbox One version. However, if you guys know my channel, you know I don't believe that. It's all about getting to know the hardware and being able to pull the best out of it. Both consoles, to me, should be capable of doing 1080p, 60 frames per second. But anyway, I don't want to get into that whole 1080p, 60 frames per second situation. But what I will say is, even on the PC, it kind of looked the same, which was kind of weird to me. But I mean, they were aiming for parity across all 3 platforms, and they look like they achieved that. So graphically, it doesn't really matter which platform you choose to play this on. It's going to be the same, so don't worry about that, guys. Just get the game. Overall, the game is a lot of fun, so the graphics are pretty good. Like I said, I expected a little bit more out of this game, but I'm actually content with the graphics. I'm not going to complain. The game does look pretty good, and it has some pretty good effects, and I like it. So that's what matters most. I'm not mad at all with the graphics. The graphics are pretty good overall, and they're equal across 3 platforms. So you guys don't have to ask which one looks better, because there's no way to really answer that. As far as the frames go, it is 30 frames per second. It tries to achieve a little bit more, but I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but if you ever frame test your games, I do. A lot of the games actually go over 30 frames per second, but I guess because they don't hit 60, it doesn't really count, so they just say it's 30 frames per second. So yeah, it does achieve a steady 30 frames per second from what I've seen, and the graphics are pretty good. So you don't have to worry about that. Just take your console of choice, get the game, and enjoy it. Now, since this is not an actual review, but more of a should you buy it with the pros and cons and me just talking about different elements of the game, let's get into the whole factor of should you buy it. Well, honestly, yeah, I think you should. A lot of people were saying that this game gets boring really quick. Well, people said that about Left 4 Dead, but the difference in the games is that you get to play with 5 people, and this game is really about being social. If you play with different people, you'll have a lot of fun with this game, and it's all about fun. It shouldn't be about if a game gets boring. If a game gets boring, that means the game is probably boring. This has a lot of content on the way. It gives you choices between playing with the computer or playing with your friends. The AI is good if you choose to play by yourself and you don't want to go online, which is a great thing. Where you have games like, well, I won't say the name, but it's a game that if you don't go online, you can't play it. And that's pretty crappy. So the fact that you can play this without internet service is a good thing. You can play with your friends and have a blast, and every time you play, every campaign, it will randomly regenerate things on the map and the environments to make the game unique every time you play it. So how could this get boring? Unless you're playing with boring people, then yeah, I could see this game getting boring. I did not get tired of the game. I had a blast, a lot of fun laughing and joking and, you know, trying to survive or trying to kill. The game is a blast. I recommend that you buy this game. Definitely I recommend picking this game up. If you want to play with me on Xbox One, my game tag will be in the description below. I will be playing this game, and I probably will be playing it a lot like I did Left 4 Dead. So with that being said, hopefully this should you buy it / review was helpful to you guys. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a little bit more breakdowns in separate videos. As you can see, this was a very long video and I couldn't fit all the information in it. So if you want to know anything else about this game, do come back to my channel. And do remember, before I go, it takes a lot of hard work to put these videos together. This one actually took a couple of days. Do like, comment, subscribe to help me share this and grow my channel. And do remember to download the Android app in the description below. I talked enough, guys. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your view. I appreciate your visit. Do remember to download the Android app in the description below. That also took a lot of time and dedication to do as well. I talked enough. I'll talk to you guys in the comment section below. Please have a blessed evening, blessed day or morning, weekend or weekday, depending on the time that you watch this. I'm out. Later. Hey, thank you for making it to the end of the video. As you can see, there's something here for you to click on. If you click on these links here, you can watch one of my previous videos, or if you click the link below, you can subscribe to my channel. Do remember, I also have the Android app available, so you can click on my videos or my social media links while you're on the go and keep in touch with me. If you guys appreciate all the work I'm putting in, please share, like, and comment and subscribe. This helps me to grow the channel and to produce more work like this. If you guys really like what I'm doing, that's the way to keep me motivated and incentive for me to keep going. It takes a lot of hard work to do this, like I said before. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'm out of here, man. Have a good day.